Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round one here of the Supreme Racing League. I'm your host, Amkasa, and we're coming to you from a rather wet looking Melbourne Park here in Australia. I say rather wet. It's looking like people are going for Inter, so it's not too wet, but it's just wet enough that we'll hopefully see some lovely close driving here today. Obviously, we don't know what the setup is going to be for qualifying, but we've got a good idea of what we've got in race. Sorry, we've got a good idea of what we've got in qualifying. As first man out on the track is Veloci Hypers, big name here, and I think he's going to be potentially one of the men to watch out, or boys to watch out for, should we say? This season, he's a little bit of laggy going on already, which is not the best start for him. He was the champion last season. Alongside him in the winnings, you got Brownie, who's not that great, as Hypers has left position and connection issues already. So let's go on board then with the Red Bull Esports Pro driver, Nicholas Longue, or Longu, depends how you want to pronounce it, or Crow is how we're going to call him, because that's how we know him. He recently drafted into the pro teams at the draft last month, actually. So excited to watch him, but yes, here he is in the Red Bull, showing us what he's got in the rain in Australia. Hopefully Hypers will be back in shortly, we won't actually miss him. But yes, we're on board with Crow, as he's just taking it cautiously on this outlap. Obviously with the rain coming down, there will be no DRS to speak of, but hopefully that's not going to affect anything too much, as these guys will be racing close once we get to the race. And we're just going to stay on board then with Nicholas, as he will take us on the opening flying lap. We should be starting shortly, hopefully. Inter's fitted to all cars, no one fancying a wet, no one fancying a little snifter at the dry just yet. Hopefully a dry line will appear, and here we go then with the first flying lap of the season from 2 seasons ago, champion, as last season champion joins in, and he's already come up to a bit of traffic on the exit of turn 2. That's Brownie just ahead of him. Hopefully Brownie will get out of the way. Nicholas is lining up those rears. Struggling for grip already. First man out on track, hasn't really carved a dry line just yet. He's still going though, obviously just needs to set a time at some point. You don't know if he's going to chuck it down with rain later on in qualifying and turn it to full wet. So if you can get a time out on these inters, that'll be good. Just come into the heartbreaking turn 6, and then that exit just flows through 7 into this long turn 8. And we come up to the Clark chicane, turns 9 and 10. Overtaking opportunities down the inside if you fancy a little sniff. You don't often go for it, but if the guy gets a terrible drive off the previous corner, you go for it. As you come through this long left-hander down towards the DRS detection point and the end of the second sector, and throws it into turns 11 and 12. A little cut there of 12. Don't know, thinking about this, he's still going for it at the moment. This would be the DRS straight if we had DRS in the dry. Through then turn 13, and we'll come up towards the detection point for the start-finish straight, just there. Again, obviously won't have that this in qualifying, but maybe later if it dries up. Through then across the turn 15, a little messy, but it's still going to be a lap on the board, which is the most important part in a wet qualifying. It's just to get laps on the board, particularly in the inters. If you've got a dry race coming up, you're just going to put lap after lap after lap, just keep going and going and going. As a dry line will start to appear, start to get a bit more feel for the track as well. Some of these guys may not have even taken a vehicle out in the wet here, so it's going to be interesting to see how people go on. Let's go just go on board with Brownie. Let's just start it up. So let's have a look. Hazard, yeah, let's have a look at Hazard. No, we won't. He's just backed out of his lap. That's good timing. Let's look then at Julian, who's coming around the front corner. He's going to set a time. Only one time though, because he's going to run low on fuel. And he does a 33.487 for good enough for P2 at the moment. And he'll go for a cool down and come into the pits, whilst other people are going for a few more laps. So, championship prospects. Nicholas Longue will be the man to watch, I would say. Hypers could give him a run for money on some tracks, but I think Crow will edge him out on, I'd say on the vast majority. I don't want to say all the tracks. You just never know. Lemon has just five place grip points for collision with Haskari, as Julian's getting got stuck in traffic on his way back. So let's go on board with Hypers. He's just gone through turn 4. Hypers, that's not what I wanted to see. Hypers is doing stuff. I'm disconnected from Steam. I have another login. Is that right there? That's me. No one needs to see that. I'm still disconnected from Steam. Hopefully this is going to sort itself out shortly. I don't believe my internet connection is a problem. I am still streaming as far as I'm aware. Am I connected back? No, I'm still disconnected from Steam. Well, oh, here we go, back on Steam. I've got an invite. I'm getting back in. Apologies for that. Welcome to esports. Hopefully we've not missed too much. I just saw a message there from Julian that said it's all light rain. So I don't know if that's qualifying race, but I suspect that is both sessions. And we are back in then on the action. Crow is still top. Let's get the little sideboards on. He has done 2 laps then on his inters. Let's have a look further back then at Shadow in that McLaren. He's coming out to this tricky turn, 11 and 12. Tricky in the drive. If you get it wrong, you make a big mess. It's going to be even harder in the wet. Shadow easily through that. And into turn 13 then. So we've got yellows in sector 2. Won't worry too much. It's probably just cars getting out of the way of other cars. We have 11 minutes of the session. You've not really missed much. Hypers did put in a very quick time. Nearly as fast as Crow then with a 30.011. So not too bad at all. Yeah, so as I was saying, that's the battle you're going to see really. Those top 2, they're going to be the boys to keep your eyes on. Shadow actually with a relatively quick time. Still a fair bit off the gap at the top, but this is whether it's really hard to judge what we're going to see during the race. So I think there's some Steam issues tonight by the looks of things. Everyone's disappearing. So hopefully we won't have any more issues throughout the rest of the evening for me. I suspect we might see some issues for other drivers. So yeah, battle for the top 2 is most likely going to be between Crow and Hypers. The battle that in Caesar a couple of seasons ago, Crow getting the edge there. Hypers was always second best, unfortunately for him. And I've seen a good bit from Lemon so far this game, as Hypers goes fastest of everyone, edging out Crow then by just over a tenth. As this track is starting to dry up a little bit, dry lines are starting to appear. These inters are starting to come up a little better. Shadow takes the post with him, and his teammate is giving him a little toe. Whether he meant to or not, different matter. Battle then for P3, you're going to be looking at your Julians, your Brownies, Lemon, Hazard. Haskari's not bad on a good day. I'm not seeing much of Shadow, so to see him up here is quite good. So maybe we can have a nice little battle starting to develop for that lot. As Shadow's going to come round and complete another lap then. Yellow's still flying off in sector 1 at the moment, so we'll have a quick look at Hypers in a moment, see how he's getting on. Shadow goes faster, but invalidated actually, so he's not improved. Hitting corners like that is not the way to improve. That's not the way to improve either from Hypers. So he won't be going faster, he's probably just go for a cooldown and go for another one. Brownie has got P5 at the moment. Gaps are rather substantial in all honesty. The entire field is separated by 7 seconds. Not helped by the rain, of course. Let's have a look at borderline then. He's put on some fresh inters. He's going to go again. With just over 8.5 minutes left to go then. And we'll see what these guys can put together in these final few stages. And we're going to see some long runs then on these inters. We're going to see anyone risk it and go on a set of dries. Someone down the bottom just fancies a shot on those dry tyres. Just maybe he can get them to work. It's unlikely to happen, and Kit Novell has been disqualified for going the wrong way, so he'll be starting P14 at best. I suspect what's happened is he's missed the pit lane, tried to reverse back on himself, and as such has caused himself to get disqualified. I've seen it a few times. It's not pretty, but it happens. So borderline coming up to the final few corners then through turn 14 goes. So they're all looking rather tame, but it is a bit slippy, slidey out there for these guys. As I say, I don't know how many drivers have even attempted wet Australia, and borderline shows us that he hasn't Tented it too much as he slides out the final corner, making a mess of his lap, and he'll be on his way back into the garage after another whole lap, unfortunately for him. Let's have a look at Ascari going through turn 5, flat out during the race, lifting off in the wet. Crow's back out there for a flying lap, and we've got more Yo's in the next one. I wonder if that's borderline having another little spin. Seems right at the moment. Let's go back on board with Ascari. Where's Hickster? Hickster's just coming around the final corner. Let's see what he does. Currently P9, 3.2 seconds off the lead. And he's going to go P5, 1.8 seconds off the lead. So good jump from him up into P5. Not too shabby at all. Where's Lemon? Lemon is just coming down the straight towards 13. Simon is fairly fast. We're just on board with Lemon for a little bit. A bit of a corner cut. I think this is in May 0, so I suspect this is a in lap. Ascari is also in May 0, so it's obviously backed out of his. Cisco coming up to the line. Is this an out lap? It wasn't, and it's 7 seconds off the pace, so not the best lap then from him. Let's flick up to the front quickly, see where Crow is. He's gone through turn 12, and I didn't get a split unfortunately, so I couldn't tell you if he's up or down, but he's only a 10th off. Hyper's out there in the race lead. 6 minutes left of the session. It's looking like a 2-horse race, and he's unfortunately had a steam disconnection then. That's really unfortunate. There seems to be a lot of these tonight. Not much can be done, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, really, really unfortunate that these things happen. And this is the problem, obviously, with online gaming. If the server that everyone's connecting through doesn't like you, it just throws you off. So Hypers has a good chance now. With 5 minutes left, he has a chance of actually snatching this pole as Simon jumps up to P6, 2.2 seconds off the leads. Let's have another look back towards Cisco. He's just burning through that ERS. He's running really low already and so carefully through these corners. Yellow flag in sector 1. Obviously, someone's had a little off. And Price made it back in, and I think he'll be hitting that exit pit lane as soon as he can. He'll want to get going. He needs to get himself up after Hypers. He was on a fly when he crashed, unfortunately. So Cisco coming up to the final 2 corners, locking up as he goes, running wide as well. That's not the best. And he's going to bring this one into the pits. Yes, he is. Don't think he was sure entirely where he was going there. Let's have a quick look then at Hypers. He's currently coming around to turn 14 on this flying lap. The sun is shining now. Rain's still falling though. Let's see, can Hypers improve? He's got red fuel, so it's going to be a 1 shot. And he'll then have to do an in lap and see if he's got time left on the board to go again. It's going to be touch and go, but he goes faster by nearly half a second, improving 4/10. And he's taken to the off-road routes to get back to the pits a bit quicker. But he's over half second clear now of Crow there in second. Good place to be. Well, Crow managed to get himself back into the game and get going again. He is on a round lap, so I suspect he will. Let's have a look as we've got another steam disconnection then from Hickster. And I think this might... hopefully this won't ruin the race. And that's what we're really worried about now. Constant disconnections like this, especially if they happen during the race, or just ruin someone's race quite easily. As Igor Pro in the Renault, that sort of goes. That's quite cool. He's just backed out of his lap. Unfortunately, I might have jinxed him there a little bit just by coming to watch him. So let's have a look. Where is Hazard? He's just started his lap. Ascari is on an in lap. It's in mode 0. What about Shadow? Currently coming up to turn 6. So we'll come back to him later. Where is Julian? Let's on board with Julian in mode 5. So it looks like a go for a flyer. Coming up to turn 14. And we'll see, can he improve his time? He's 2.1 seconds off the lead so far. If he can slide this down to a second, he'll be putting himself in a good place with time for a nice cool down lap and not lose the back end. He's going to come across the line. And he's improved by half a second, so he's 1.5 seconds off the lead. Just needs to find a little bit more to outdo Shadow. Shadow, who is on a flying lap, expect to see him improve. He's up by 2.5 tenths so far. In the first 2 sectors, he's got just 3 corners to go now. Can he improve? Can he get up to Crow. If Crow has another issue, then he might just snatch second place off him. Final corner then for Shadow. He will get another lap. After this, he'll get a cooldown, then to go again lap if he fancies. Comes across the line, and only just a slight improvement at the end. Terrible sector 3 for him, and he hasn't really improved. So Crow is still up there in second. He's currently going through turn 6. So let's have a look further back. Where is Hazard? Hazard's coming out to the start finish line. 4/10 up at the end of the second sector. Up then to P5 alongside his teammate, who's in P4 at the moment. Let's see where Lemon is. Lemon is coming up to the final couple of corners now. We've got less than a minute 50 on the clock. Those in the pit lanes need to get themselves out right now, or they might not even get a chance of doing a flying lap. Lemon coming now round the final corner to the home straight. Can he get up there? He does, up to P6 for now. He'll get one more shot at it. Brownie is currently going through turn 6, and Hazard's turn to disconnect. Then that's his qualifying over. He won't be getting back in to improve. As Crow coming around to the final corner now, he's up by 3/10 on this previous. Is he going to go for the line? He's going to have another lap after this though if he wants it. He's got a bit of ERS left in the tank. He does improve, but he's missed out by 0.06 of a second. And this is small margins, really small margins now. He's going to go again. He's not going to give up. Let's have a look further back quickly to Boardline. Crow's teammate going down towards turn 13. Brownie is just ahead of him actually, so let's go board with Brownie quickly and see how he's getting on. 35 seconds left then. Brownie just run a little deep then at 15, not the best corner for him. He will get another lap. Unless he nails this one perfectly and somehow jumps to the top, which he's not going to do, because he's down by 3 seconds. Brownlee then up by 1.6 seconds so far, and he's going to jump up into P10 and just shy of a 2-second improvement on his previous best. Whereas Simon Hazard has retired, he obviously disconnection and unable to get back in time to start a lap. Simon's up by 3/10, so he'll be pushing Lemon, jumping up then to P3, and he's got another lap if he doesn't do that. Well, I mean, I guess that's one way of retiring. Crow's coming up to the final few corners. He's up by only a smidge up. Can he put it on the front? It's already on the front row, but can he get that P1? Lemon disqualified for going the wrong way, so that was a big mistake from him. And Crow improves, but it's invalidated. He doesn't get P1. Hypers has pretty much guaranteed that he's going to get first place now, unless something magical happens from Simon, Cisco, Boardline or Brownie. Simon's coming out to the final few corners now. Lemon's over the top celebration into the first corner has just cost him third place on the grid. A silly thing to have done. As Simon, how's he going to fare? Is he going to improve? Up to P5, 1.1 second improvement from him. Good jump. Where's his teammate? His teammate's coming towards the line now. He improves but stays P12. Boardline and Brownie's come to the line now. He jumps up to P7. And Boardline coming out to the final. The last man other than Hypers. We're not really watching Hypers because he's already got pole. Is he going to improve? Hypers doesn't improve. Boardline comes to the line. And he's going to stay where he was. So Boardline will be P9 then. Hyper's taking the pole, only just from Crow. Obviously Crow suffering from a disconnection that did not help him one bit. And there we go, there's the full confirmation then. So Hyper's with that pole position from Crow. Third place went to Julian, followed by Shadow, Simon, Hazard, Brownie, Hickster, Boardline and Huskari running out the top 10. Just missing out is Igor Pro, Cisco, and disqualifications for Lemon for just parking at the turn 1. A silly thing to have done, and in all honesty, he was third. He dropped the whole way down to 13th. And Kit Novel, I didn't see what happened, but I'm going to assume from what I saw, he drove backwards on the track. Probably missed the pit lane, tried to come back into it, and as a result, starts last. So then it is looking like a nice dry race. Hopefully we'll get a lovely race on our hands. We'll just wait then for all the drivers to get themselves in, get themselves set up, make any of those little adjustments they need to make. Obviously they have raced and qualified in the wet, so they need to make some small changes potentially to get themselves ready for a dry race. Apologies, I just need to move that onto that screen because then I can see that. Oh, there we go. So I have been informed that if the connections issues don't resolve themselves, then we may have to end up having to cancel the race. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope we have no more disconnects, and let's hope we have an epic race. Fingers crossed, guys and gals. As we will have the formation lap then for the opening race. And there you go. Let's have a quick look at those tyres. Obviously, dry race means everyone gets free choice of tyres. The majority have gone to start on the softs. Brownie starting 7th has gone for hards. Interesting call from him. It's definitely not his favourite track. He's had a lot of issues on here in the past. Those overheating rears. As such, we'll see how he gets on. Ascari and Lemon, the only other drivers not to go for the softs. So it should be a good shootout towards the line then from the front two. It's going to be crucial for Julian and Shadow to try and keep tabs on those front two runners. Impossible it may seem, but yeah, they could be battling and you could take advantage of any little bumps they have, especially if they tangle. You can then take advantage and get into that race lead. I suspect we'll see wing elbows out from both those front two drivers, neither giving quarter to either of the others. Crow has overtaken Hypers just to say that, haha, no, I'm in front of you. I'm messing about a little bit, but this is formation lap. Oh, that's a big hit then from Crow. He might get reset to the grid for that. Interesting camera angle. Yep, so they've been reset to the grid. That's their punishment for being a bit silly. So then we just wait for everyone to get themselves back to said grid. Julian will be leading them round now after a little coming together. So they are looking a bit silly at the grid. I mean, the camera angle doesn't really explain it, but so the thing is, their tyres get kept. The tyre temperatures get kept at where they had the incident. So if they were really cold when they had the incident, then they're going to start really cold. If they're really warm, or too warm, maybe, then they're going to be a little too warm. We'll see how it happens as Julian is now coming up to the grid. You've got Pro and Cisco also getting reset. And we'll be waiting then for Lemon at the very back. Last man to take up his position. At the very back then of the grid in 14th place. And we are under starters orders. So the lights come on. They're off, and we're off then for the Supreme Racing League. And it is off to a good start. Crow has got the jump on Hypers. Hypers a little bit sluggish off the line. Looks like Julian might fancy a nip down the inside. Doesn't go for it. Simon is all over the back then. A Shadow nearly touching the rear wing. And he's lost the place then to Hazard. Hazard's come through. And it looks like going 3 wide behind. Late braking going on from everyone. And looks like everyone is cleanly through the first few corners. No, they're not. My mistake. That is Lemon facing the wrong way in the background. And Kit Novell also picking up a bit of damage then on that front left of the McLaren. But was that Lemon facing the wrong way? It might well have been. Well, it might have been Eagle Pro actually. Lemon. Oh, Ascari all over the place there. Ferrari is not having a good day. Is there any damage on that Ferrari? Looks like there is. That front left looks to have taken a bit of a knock. And we can see a little bit of pistol fire, and Ascari's had enough already. Immediately retiring as Hypers is dropping back already. Crow obviously went for a dry setup and has nailed it on this first lap. He's really got a 1.2 second lead over Hypers. Hypers is not slow by any means. These both are top tier drivers for many other leagues, and this is just showing a complete difference in class. Hypers is still quite young. He's got a few years to develop. He's one to keep your eye on for potential esports, that's for sure. Let's have a look further back. Let's see. Hickster, Brownie. Brownie not liking this track, and he's holding off Hickster for 7th and 8th. Borderline not far behind. Shadow is mixing it with the McLaren boys then. Half a second ahead of Hazard and half a second behind Julian, who's just missing out then on the 1 second window to Hypers. Obviously DRS will be enabled at the end of the second lap, so the end of this lap. And Hypers 3 second penalty. We're only on lap 2 and he's already picked that up. That is not a good sign. He's just shows how hard he's pushing. Is he pushing too much? And the answer to that is probably yes, by the fact he's already picked up a 3 second penalty on the second lap. So we are still on board with Shadows. He's trying to close up on the back of Julian, as I say, DRS enabled soon. But all it takes is a good drive off a corner like that and you have a shot, or a terrible drive off the guy in front. And neither of that happens. Julian, a little lock up there, just a little puff of smoke in Shadow's face. As Crow still leads then. So coming to the end of the second lap with DRS going to be enabled. Won't be usable though until we get to the straight after turn 12. Detection point, as I said before, is just before turn 11. You'll see a white line going across the road. That is obviously where it is, as we have a little movement going on at the back there. Cisco and Kit Oval, they are battling really quite hard. Whether or not they should be battling a little more on the track in Cisco. Is that front wing damage? And Brownie's disconnected in there in 7th, so he's going to fall back. Cisco with no front left wing. Brownie's straight back in, no messing. Loses a place, loses 2. Lemon's too far back to take advantage. But Borderline's battling with Hickster. This is P7. And so he's Brownie back in. He is back in the game, but he has still to take control of his car. Hopefully he'll do that any moment, because he doesn't want to lose any more time. And maybe he's just waiting for a nice straight bit to go for it. There we go, he's back in control then. As Borderline and Hickster going side by side around this long, not quite straight, which means Borderline's going to get the Hickster, sorry, is going to get the DRS. Borderline gets the position. Hickster's getting the DRS then. And Borderline, beautiful exit on that corner, just carries so much speed. Nothing could be done by Hickster. Even with DRS, he just can't close up. And Shadow and Julian are battling there for P3. Crow has a 2.6 second lead already over Hypers at the end of lap 3. And Shadow with that DRS, 0.3 off the back of Julian. Hazard is not far behind as well, so if Shadow makes a move and Julian, Hazard could jump both of these drivers. There's a little bit of a issue between them. Let's quickly look at the tyre situation. So front top 8 all on softs, Brownie and Lemon on hards, and there's that little nudge I was just talking about. Shadow's through, and Hazard takes advantage then of Julian being nudged out of the way. Julian comes straight back then at Hazard, and back up then to P4 for Julian after that little nudge from Shadow. And Hazard, I'm going to assume there's a little bit of team orders in play there. Hazard letting Julian back through to continue the fight with Shadow, but he's 1.1 seconds off. Hazard will get DRS unless he makes a huge mistake here, which he doesn't do. And well, maybe, no, Julian's just off the edge of the DRS. He is closing in around the straight. It's going to be just outside it though, by about 0.02 of a second. That's really tight. Hazard with DRS, he'll close up a little bit on Julian. Hickster with a 3 second penalty. Down there in 8th. And Hazard is right on the rear of Julian. Going to get DRS on the home straight. Julian won't get it, as Lemon has retired. Obviously a little bit too much damage on that car to continue. And I just want to have a quick look. Where is it? It's turn 12. Turn 12's claimed its first victim, and it is Lemon. Hazard looking to make moves then on Julian. Pulls out the slipstream with that DRS. Takes him in braking. Relatively simple at the end of the day. Hazard up to P4. Julian not giving up. He's still there. Hazard will get DRS, but slipstream is Julian's. Julian can now use this to try and close up, but just not as powerful as that DRS with Hazard's car. And as it stands, this is currently the closest battle on track. I suspect Hazard might start pulling away from Julian, moving himself up to range to have a shot at Shadow. Shadow needs to remember though, Hypers has a 3 second penalty to his name, which means if Shadow can get that gap down to 3 seconds, he will jump him at the end of the race. Obviously that end is a fair distance away. We're only on lap 5 of 29, so as Julian has disconnected, that's his steam messing up on him. Hopefully he can get himself back into the session very quickly. He will though lose a place to Simon because Simon's right on his rear, and AI guys are just not as quick as the actual drivers, and Simon will take that position quite happily, move himself up then to P5, borderline 3 seconds off the back of Julian. Will he have a little go? He's starting to close in a bit on Julian. Let's have a look at Hypers. Let's see how he's getting on as he gets the pressure getting to him. Is he starting to try to reel him in? 2.8 is the gap between Crow and Hypers right now. I mean, this could all change if Hypers goes for an earlier pit stop, puts on a set of hards, gets some clean air, and can set some fast laps on those fresh hard tyres. He might be able to cut in to Crow's lead. Julian unfortunately still hasn't made it back in. Let's have a look at Brownie Hickster. Less than a second between those two. As Julian is now, as I say, down to P7, he'll be taken shortly by Hickster. For Brownie's sake, I don't think he wants Hickster to close up too soon. Hypers with another 3-second penalty. As Brownie cuts the corner a bit fine, Hickster doesn't quite get it perfectly. Brownie gets a better drive as a result. Hickster will not get DRS then from the AI Julian, but Brownie definitely will get the DRS and a beautiful drive off the corner, and this is going to be a simple overtake then. Brownie is through and up into P8 and will be on the back of Julian's AI. If he times this perfectly as well, he'll get slipstream on the home straight, and he will. The detection point was just back there before that corner. And Hypers is in the pits then. He's gone for that early pit stop. He's going for the hards. This means he's going to have to really push to close up onto Crow. And it's going to be a big attempt to make the undercut. He already has 6 seconds penalty, so he's going to need a monumental effort. Oh, no, he's not back. Unfortunately, Julian hasn't been able to get back in. He does need someone to invite him. Unfortunately, someone isn't me. I'm unable to invite. Quite annoyingly, I wish I could, because sometimes it's the easiest person to do the invite is the guy commentating, because we're not racing. For one of these guys to do the invite, they have to slow down on home straight or do it in the pit. So yeah, so Hickster still hanging on the back of Brownie. 0.6 is the gap. Just to keep an eye on Igor, as he was relatively close to Hypers. I thought he might have a small hope of getting up and battling. But Hypers is able to just pull away just by sheer pace. Julian has finally got back out. Unfortunately for him, he's dropped the whole way back to 9th place. Steam issues costing Julian big. He's got on board with him. He's going to come under battle actually from Igor. Igor should go through. But Julian hopefully will get control of that car, as he needs to load into the game first of all. And then he can take control of his Mercedes. Yellow in sector 2. Is that one of these boys? Was that Cisco? It could have been. As Simon has pitted them from P5. Hazard's closed up onto the back of Shadow. Did not see that one. This could be is Hazard going to fancy an early pit stop? Simon's gone for a set of mediums. He's going to try and make those ones last to the end of the race. It's not impossible, but it's going to be pretty darn hard. Obviously, it all comes down to the individual driver. And Cisco, 3-second penalty for him. Not the best start. Down there in 12th. 2 DNF so far, so there is a chance he'll get in, as Julian has got control of his car, has got past Igor. As Igor runs wide, keeps it out the wall. Just, that was a scary moment there for the Renault driver, and he's having real issues keeping his car on track. I think he might be coming to the pits. These tyres are starting to look a little bit worn. Now Hazard still hanging on the back of Shadow. Where's Hypers? Hypers on the back of Hickster. So Crow is not coming in just yet. He's always going to try and push it to the point where he can go for those mediums. Simon says that's now. Crow says not yet. Shadow is blocking off then the undercut, which basically means now Hazard needs to go flying and get the overcut, which is stopping a lap or two later than the other guys and gaining position anyway. We'll see how he gets on. Let's have a look further about Hicksters in the bits as well. As Eagle Pro's AI passed then by Simon. It's unfortunate. I mean, if everyone DCs, then it's not that unfortunate. It's if someone DCs more than once, then that's a bit unfortunate. But if everyone has their turn, it's a bit more fair. Shadow has come out right in front of Julian. Julian on those really old softs versus Shadow on cold hard tyres. Shadow squeezing Julian there. These had a little coming together a few laps ago. I'm just wondering if that is in each other's mind. So let's have a look further. Let's just see how Pro's going on. We're not really looked at him much today. He's not done much in all honesty. He's just led the race from the word go. He's currently 8.7 seconds clear then of Hazard. And he's bringing it into the pits then. So we'll see how he gets on. Hazard, could he be coming in this lap? Where's he going to come out in relation to Shadow? He's not coming in this lap. He's staying out. What tyres then is Pro going for? He's going for hards. Conservative strategy, but it's going to give him an extra couple of laps on Hypers. Now, where is Hypers? Still on the back end of Brownie. Teammate on teammate here, and I think Pro is going to come out well ahead of this. I say well ahead, it's not that far ahead, but it is still in front of the battle. And Hypers is going to just need to get past his teammate so you can get after Crow. Is Brownie letting him through? I think there might be almost a let through. And it looks more like it. As who's that? That's Cisco going well off right in front of Hypers. Hypers did well not to let that get to him. Cisco having a bad day at the office and is currently down in P12, 48 seconds at the moment. Now a minute off the pace of Kitnover, and he's just lost the back end once again, and more front wing damage then as his teammate laps him. Let's have a look at Brownie and see how he's getting on. Actually, Eagle Pro got a safety car then. Cisco's caused a safety car but just losing the rear end. Now Hazard and Brownie, they are in prime position here. Where is Hazard? He's coming out to the pit lane. He's going to get a free pit stop and potentially the race lead here. Brownie is going to come out a bit ahead of Crow. Come in a bit ahead of Crow, but it won't come out ahead. But this is great for Hazard. This has worked out perfectly. What does he? He's going for those medium tyres, so he's going to go for the medium tyres. It could be an interesting call. Crow's also coming in. Where's Hypers? Hypers coming in as well. Everyone is making that pit stop. They're all going to go onto those medium tyres. Where's Shadow? Shadow is staying. No, he's coming in. Sorry. Leaving it late. Very busy pit lane. Oh, is this? Oh, Crow's going to get held up. Just a little delay then in the pit lane, and he's not going to be able to move. Oh, that's unsafe. I mean, if there's ever an unsafe release, that was it there. But Crow then will come out just behind Hypers, exactly where he wants to be. Simon not pitting, so almost the perfect call then from Simon. He's gone to those mediums. Will those survive though? That is the question. Can have a couple of laps behind the safety car, which is going to work really well for Simon. So just got to take a little heat off those tyres, and it's going to really help him. So, only people not to pit so far under the safety car are Simon and Hickster. Both have recently done a pit stop. Kit Noble staying out as well for some reason. 10 laps in on those softs. That's a strange call. Very old tyres wanting to stay out. I would have come straight in. I wouldn't have asked twice. I'm not saying he knows what he's doing, but he's got damage front wing as well. He needs to come in. So he's going to be plumb last when he does come in. And this is not working out for Julian. Julian's on the back of him, but obviously can't overtake. And he needs Kitten over to step up that power. As Cisco's disconnected then down in 12th. Lap down on Igor. Not too much of an issue. The issue is for Julian. Julian obviously had that disconnection earlier. That cost him so much ground. He's now stuck behind Kitnovel, who's going really slow. Hickster is in the safety car queue and was pulling away a little bit then from Kit, and still is. So Kitnovel's actually gone ghost mode himself. So hopefully Kitnovel comes and Julian can get going. So we're starting now to reel in the back of Hickster. Has Julian made that overtake completely legal? I think he might have done actually. Hickster has come in for a pit stop. He's going to lose a fair few places then. So then, we're on lap 12 of 29. We've had safety cars just come out. It's been out for just over a lap now. Hazard is your race leader from Simon, followed by Borderline, Hypers, Crow, Brownie, Shadow, Julian, Eagle, and at the moment Hickster down there in 10th. Brownie went for soft tyres in his little pit stop, as Crow and Hypers are... I'm not sure what Hypers is doing. Crow and Hypers are having a little battle between themselves. They might be behind the safety car, but it doesn't mean you can't have fun. You've just got to avoid hitting the other cars because you can get quite severe penalties for contact behind the safety car, and things like that are not going to help you. So Cisco is... I think he's unlapped himself now actually, but he's still in the safety car queue and won't be doing much about it. Kitnovel is down in 11th. He's A high at the moment, but he will close up slowly but surely onto the back of Hickster. We're not told when that safety car is coming in. Hopefully it'll be coming in soon and we can get this race underway. Worth keeping an eye on Brownie. If Brownie can make those tyres last the end, he'll have done something magical. I don't think he will, but he might. He'll two-stop there onto the softs, which could be interesting. So still safety car out. Looks like it could be out for another lap. As we are. So Cisco's still DC'd. Kitnovel still DC'd as well. Cisco's finally got back in. Safety car is in this lap. That's a very late decision. And he peels in immediately, and Hazard has to almost just go. That's a late decision then for the safety car. Hazard is starting off again, and it's not the best start. Safety car decided to come in very late. And will Simon get the jump on him? And will anything happen behind? Red Bulls are all over the place trying to get past the Williamses and defend against the other Williams. But Crow has got past his Hypers. Has just dropped back then, and he's going to lose another place out to Shadow. Brownie is trying to make moves on Crow. Very late break from Shadow. Collection, and that's Hypers. Just sent one down the inside. I think Hypers might have a little bit of score to settle. He's driving really aggressively there. Crow's got a little rev limiter bug. Not ideal. Did Hypers pick up any damage from that collision? Just trying to see his front left. And just get a better camera angle. Yeah, so he's missed that left end plate, which means Crow's going to make short work of him. And there we go. Crow is going to take this easy overtakes. Hypers just doesn't have that much cornering speed on that Williams right now. Crow up to P5. And Julian actually did a great recovery and up to P4 for him after that disconnection issue. So lap 13 coming to an end. We're going to start lap 14. Hazard is your current race leader, 1.7 seconds off the lead. Is Simon in second, followed by Borderline, Julian, Crow, and Hypers. And let's keep an eye. Hypers has come into the pits and DNF then. Obviously, a little too much for him there. He made that bit of mistake into turn 3. And Brownie moves up into P7, sets his sight on Shadow. As Crow sets his sight on Julian with his rev limiter bug. Tries for a switchback, but nothing there from him. Julian knows it can't be long before this Red Bull slides past him and onto the rear of the Red Bull in front. And Simon, 3-second penalty out there in second place. That rev bug is really quite annoying. Hopefully that sorts itself out, because you can't really sit on board with someone with rev limiter bugs. It just sounds horrible. So Crow still then trying to battle with Julian. It's gone ball with Julian actually. He's trying to make moves on borderline. Nothing there for him. He knows he's got a rampant Crow on his tail. And I think that rampant Crow is going to slide past him here. Tries. Oh, his teammate comes across and blocks him a little bit. And Julian then up into P3 for a moment. Crow comes through as well on his teammate, and Borderline has just lost 2 places. Borderline now down to 5th as Shadow and Brownie are battling. Brownie's got past Shadow on that DRS straight. Up into P6 for him. As DRS has been enabled, it won't obviously be in use until we get towards the later part of the lap to sector 3. Crow is still on the back end of Julian. Does he fancy a little chance down here? Not this time around. A little lock up then from Julian. As Hazard now has a 3-second lead as Lemon has disconnection, but he'd already DNF, so not too much there. And Crow is all over the back then of Julian, sniffing down the back of his neck. And Julian must be trying to work out what he can do to defend this. Can he do anything to keep Crow behind him? He needs to get, and he is catching up actually to Simon. That's just going to help him a little bit because he's going to get DRS to defend. But I suspect that Red Bull behind is just going to be too quick for him. And we'll have him potentially on the next straight, if not on the home straight. As Borderline has retired as well. There's that an incident at turn 12. Kit Novell, 20 seconds off the pace of it. Be a little while to see it, but I think based on where it is, that could be just here. Yellow flags are out, and that is Borderline's wreckage. The Red Bull of Borderline is out of the race, while the other Red Bull is looking to try and make moves on Julian. Julian's trying to make moves on Simon as well. Crow's sending one down the inside. No, just not enough space there for him. Now he's still on the back of Julian as they come down towards turn 3, and Julian's had a little bit of lag there, or Crow's had a little bit of lag, and Crow slides through then up into P3 and nearly past Simon. Simon just driving quite a wide car at the moment, and Crow is just looking for any advantage to go for it. Julian is now back down in P4 and just off the base a little bit of Crow. But as soon as Crow's got past Simon, then Julian can have a shot at Simon himself, unless he fancies that gap. That's not a gap, Julian. No. Don't go for that one. Crow, however, does go past Simon up to P2 for him, and now can start making waves on Hazard, who is 4.8 seconds in the lead. Julian goes past Simon and up to P3 for him as Crow picks up a 3-second penalty. Not the best for him because the man out front doesn't normally get penalties. Julian locking up a little bit there, runs a little bit onto the grass, but not too much time lost. He's still hanging on to the back of Crow, but that's going to lose a little bit of time. He will get DRS on the home straight though, and so will Simon. And if Simon gets a better drive, then Julian could be taken. He's not going to be. So let's have a look quick further down. Hickster, Igor, Pro, and Brownie all relatively close, along with Shadow. And Hickster, he's got DRS on Igor, but just not close enough because Igor's got DRS of his own. So he'll be starting to just defend that bit better. As Brownie is just off the back then of Shadow. 0.9 is the gap there. He's trying to pull away from Igor, or Igor, and he's now got that gap to over a second. So Hickster, oh, Hickster's battling really wide there on turn 5. He's slotted in behind. Is he fancying a little look down the inside? No. He knows where the chances are to overtake, and that's not a normal place for overtaking. If you've got a chance, you sometimes go for it. And he's just not close enough to go for it here. So he'll sit behind for a little bit longer. He'll get some DRS in a little bit, unless he makes that overtake here. He's right on the back of him, less than 2/10 between them. And Hickster will get that DRS then on the straight down towards turn 13 Ascari. But he's just too far off the back of him, and won't be making anything this time round. He just needs now to link these next 4 corners, or 3 corners now, together, and he'll get another shot down the home straight. As Igor's just kicking up a little bit of dust into Hickster's face. All's fair and love and war, I guess. As Simon has come into the pits then. Is he going to put on a set of softs? He's going to come out. well down the order though. And that's the price you pay for not going for that pit stop. And I don't think he's going to be able to gain back that ground. He's actually gone for a fresh set of mediums. And he's going to come out P8. His Eagle runs very wide, nearly comes across and takes Sixter out, but gets away with it. And Eagle, has he lost a bit of front ring? Yes, he has. That front right is missing his end plates, so he'll be struggling for turning speed. And let's go back up then to Brownie and Shadow battling out currently for the P4. Up at the front though is still Hazard. He's got a 3.3 second, 3.2 second lead now over Crow. Crow with a 3-second penalty to his name as Simon has left. It's his turn to DNF. So the big question is, can Crow overtake Hazard and then put a 3-second lead away? I mean, I don't doubt that he'll be able to catch up. It's getting past and getting that lead. Hazard can make it really difficult for him. All it takes is just one little mistake from either of those two drivers, and that could be curtains for their attempts. Julian in a little race of his own there in third. He's 3 seconds. Well, he's 3.6 off Crow, 3.6 off Shadow. So nice little buffer as Brownie is with DRS on Shadow, and Brownie's going to have to stop again. It's just when will he stop? Will he try and get a nice running on these softs, or will he just see, look, I've got a space back there, I'm going to drop into that space and enjoy it for a bit? Oh, hang on. That's changed everything. I didn't see that was happening. That you can just about see on the screens is rain. That changes everything. I was not expecting to see any rain at all. I knew there was some in the qualifying. I wasn't told there's going to be rain in the race. So it's a nice excitement when it sees this. So this is changing everything. Maybe Brownie's call for softs was the right call at the time. It's just when is it going to change to wet or inters? The ideal time is when the game says DRS has been disabled. That is the time you should be already in the pit lane. Obviously it depends on where on track you are. It depends, particularly in Brownie's case, how your tyres are feeling. Is he going to come in a lap too soon because his softs have already fallen off? He's not going to make that extra pit stop onto another set of softs, then stop again straight after. But Crow is scything that gap. Look at that. He's already half a second off the back of Hazard. Doesn't he have DRS? Hazard must have made a mistake then. And Crow is going to make short work. I suspect Crow might be able to take this now. Hazard is just there for the picking. Crow still with his Reveille in the bag. Hopefully that gets sorted when they come in for the pits. But this should be relatively simple now. Crow has obviously got this car set up perfectly for this weather. Shadow with a 3-second penalty. He's going to send one down the inside here. He nearly collects the Mercedes. And we're still back for now. We're on lap 20 of 29. This is the battle for the race lead. There's no net race lead anymore. It is just this. Crow with 3-second penalty. Hazard doesn't have anything. It has just rained a little bit on track. It's still coming down. Crow goes round the outside, then to turn 13. Still side by side, but has the position. Hazard slots in behind, and now just has to look at the rear wing of that Red Bull and hold on for dear life. He will get DRS here to help hold on. He just needs to remember that Crow has a 3-second penalty. Stay with him and you can nick that race lead off him. Crow's absolutely been flying the last few laps. Just be careful of hitting corners like that, does Crow, because that's one of the ones that can nick him a little penalty. One thing he won't want is a little penalty. So has a 0.7 off the rear. Let's have a look further back. Brownie is swanning along in 5th place. Starting to get a little bit of water settling on that halo. You can see a few little dots starting to appear. Not quite into us just yet. Are we going to get to inters? I've seen it in 2018 where it has rained and it hasn't been wet weather tyres. It has just been really careful on dry tyres. It wasn't warranted to go onto Inters, it was touch and go. But this is 2019, this is a completely different animal. Just a few more dots starting to appear on that halo. Gives you a little idea of how wet it is getting. I think we could be going to Inters in a few laps. We can have a straight shoot towards the end on Inter tyres, which would be great to see. Where is Hazard? He's 1.4 seconds off the back of Crow. And he's going to start to fall back more and more, and I think this could be Crow taking this race win. Unless the only thing that's going to stop Crow now is penalties. If he gets more penalties, 6 seconds or maybe it's a 9 seconds. Shadow's come in for the pits then. Interrupting myself. Shadow's going for a risky strategy because the only thing he can do from now is go for Inters. I can't imagine he'll put on a set of softs. And no, those look like Inters, the green marked Inters. And a new nose wing to boot for Shadow. That should help him a little bit, especially in this rain. So we'll keep an eye on his splits as Igor will come through and take the position off him. Simon is still there as well, and he should easily come through. Oh no, he's not, he's too far back, sorry. So let's have a look. Shadow 3.3 off the back of Igor when he came in, or when he came out, sorry. Oh, big lock up on that front ref. Right, he doesn't want to lock up too many times and overheat these tyres. Can make it really hard to cool him down. He has closed up a little bit, but he's definitely a faster driver anyway. And that gap is starting to come down just a little bit. Obviously he's not quite into time just yet, sorry. Not quite into time just yet, as you haven't seen that DRS being disabled, which is your indicator that it is time to pit, and it hasn't popped up just yet. Out front, Crow has got a 4.5 second lead over Hazard. They've not come in, they've stayed out for a little bit longer. Let's see, where's 6 there? Is he feeling it? He's not. Oh, he is feeling it. He's coming in. Igor is well off the pace, and Shadow is actually closing up. Oh, a bit of sliding from both cars there. It's getting towards that point. You can see a nice little sheen on the racetrack now. And I think we might see the DRS being disabled in probably in the next lap or so from here, as Shadow will take the place off Igor. Where is Hickster? Hickster's just coming out of the pits, and Shadow's going to come out right behind him on these warmed up Inters, and Hickster just really struggles for grip on the exit of the second corner. Shadow with DRS because it hasn't been disabled just yet. Going to make short work of Hickster. Up to P5 he goes, and Hickster will be looking at the back of the McLaren for a little bit longer as Simon and Igor both are on Inters. Race leader Crow still staying out for now. Let's have a look at him, see how he's getting on. He's coming out to the back of Kit Novell. It just doesn't look like he's under much of an issue. And he says it's time, which is a fair indication that it is time for Inters. Hazard also coming in. Where's Julian? Julian is staying out. Interesting call then from Julian to stay out. Brownie, I suspect, will be coming in as well because these tyres are getting really old. And there we go, so he's coming in. And hits the 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. So Julian now has a bit of a lead then, as Crow comes out in second place right on the rear of Cisco. Obviously Cisco's an AI, so he'll drive straight through, no issues. So he's 12 and a bit seconds off the back of Julian, and is closing in already. So Julian went for a risky strategy. Looks like he might have backfired on him. Where's Brownie coming out? He's coming out well ahead of Shadow, so Brownie is effectively, I don't want to say he's effectively P3 at the moment because Julian is still to pit, but if Julian has a little spin as a result of it being as wet as it is, then Brownie will take that, and it's right on the borderline actually. It's 31 seconds, and it's coming down every time we look at this. Have a quick look at the gap here. 33 seconds gap between Julian and Brownie. And that gap, as you can see, is starting to come down a little bit. I think Julian should come out ahead of Brownie unless he has an issue in his final few corners or he decides he's not coming in. He just can't put down full throttle coming off these corners. Look how slow he's going through these. He's going to lose a lot of time. I haven't seen DRS being disabled screen just yet, but it's definitely Inters. So let's have a look quickly. Brownie, where is he? He's currently just gone through turn 12, so fair distance back right now. Crow will take hold of the race lead. Let's keep our eyes on Julian. He's coming down the pit lane now. His teammate is on the back of Cisco, so we'll come through shortly. And there we go. So Julian will come out in P3. He's held on to that. After that really bad disconnect, it's going to be good for him to get on the podium. And Brownie is going to be a fair bit back though. 7 and a bit seconds. I think this might be all she wrote in terms of the positions, unless there's some serious issues or it absolutely hammers it down about now. We have to go on full wets, which I don't think they're going to do. On board here with Eagle Pro down in 8th. He's looking to close up on Simon. And just getting a little bit off track there. He's not liking the wet weather. There must have been a DRS disabled screen because I haven't seen it and I must have just missed it, annoyingly. But Eagle was 1.1 seconds off the back of Simon after those little mistakes he made through the final sector. So I thought he was close out there for a second, but now he's falling back from Simon, so he'll be not going up much more. Kitnavel still an AI. Eagle now has disconnected, so he will drop back and he won't close up to Simon unless AI is faster in the wet than actual drivers. Interesting to see. Kitnavel is an AI. Cisco is an AI as well. Cisco's actually just unlapped himself. It's not what you expect to see, but it's been done, especially from AIs. But yeah. So let's have a look at P5. Shadow 2.4 seconds off the back of Brownie. Could he be making a late charge to take that 4th place? Currently the fast lap is held by Crow comfortably. So that's not going to change anytime soon, so that's potentially an extra point then for Crow. Shadow a little bit slidey coming out of turn 2. There's the gap to Brownie's 1.5 seconds. Can Shadow close up onto the Williams? Can he get 4th place? He's not going to be able to push up any higher unless there's some serious issues with the front runners. 2 Mercedes having a good showing out here today. 2nd and 3rd as stands. I don't know if the disconnectors are going to get points. Considering it's a Steam disconnection, it's happened a lot this evening. I think they may well get points. Be a bit harsh to punish them for disconnecting when it wasn't even their fault. But that's not for me to decide. Shadow says, I want you, Brownie, and he's coming for him. Less than a second is the gap now. But with no DRS to play with, it's all coming down to driver skill on the ERS. Driver setups, it's all becoming more driver skilled. No more, slightly less gadgets. You've also got ERS to deploy. But you don't want to stamp it up to 4 on the exit from corner because it'll just light up the rears and your back will just come around to say hello. But this is close now. 0.7 is the gap. We've got through those back markers quite easily. Being AIs makes it a bit easier. So gap is half a second still between these two. I was wondering if they will be closing up and making that overtake anytime soon. Oh, Shadow all over the place in the exit. He's just lost a couple of tenths to Brownie. And he's going to have to reset himself. 0.4 is the gap between these two now. It's getting really wet. Are we starting to get towards wet weather tyres? I don't suspect anyone's going to come in for a wet set, but the way Shadow's sliding all over the place, it could be getting that way. Just there off the back end, but he's right there. Brownie must feel him. Shadow's got a face full of Brownie gearbox right now. and be hoping to return the favour to him as soon as he can. And he's right there. Point 3 is the gap as they come off the Clark chicane. Turn 10. This now counts is possibly the two harder corners. Got to nail these corners. It's hard in the dry, it's even harder in the wet. Don't line up the rears too soon, and they didn't. Brantley gets away, and point 3 still is the gap between these two. Crow out front has started his 28th lap. Hazard is now started his 28th lap. That's how big the gap is. It's 13 seconds out front. Shadow trying to come down the inside of Brownie. Brownie left his space. Shadow just couldn't carry any speed through the corner. And Brownie will hold on then to P4. Still, that gap sitting at about 4/10. Shadow's tyres are ever so slightly old as well. Could that be what's costing him? Corner casting like that is not going to help him, that's for sure. And I think he's going to take a monumental effort from Shadow, or a very late lunge. Not connecting the driver in front, that's not what you want to do. Shadow is pushing. He's pushing so hard to get this position. And if he's not careful, he might push too hard and have a little accident. Brownie runs very wide on turn 5. Gives Shadow a chance to close up once again to the back end of the Williams car. The other Williams of Hypers had DNF'd earlier on after a little coming together. And won't be scoring any, so we're down to 10 runners, of which 3 are currently DC'd due to steam issues this evening. I've already had my DC. A fair few others have had quite a few DCs. Hopefully, touch wood, as Crow is on his final lap, there will be no more, and we'll just have some straight racing from here on out. As Brownie is under huge amounts of pressure from Shadow. He's got 1 lap and 2 corners left to defend. Shadow, oh, he's contacted Brownie. He's got to let Brownie back, he has. And that's what I was talking about. Higgs, though, is just nowhere near. And Shadow made that little mistake, taking the rear end away from Brownie, but fortunately didn't take the position off him, otherwise he might have had to give that one back. Brownie then still holding on to P4. Here comes Shadow though. Is he going to get the drive that he wants? He's running really, really low on ERS. Brownie running low on fuel and rather low on ERS. But Shadow is just so much lower. Look at that, he's down 10%. No yellow fuel warning on that car just yet. Which basically means he has plenty to burn if he wants to. Well, it'll be red fuel warning now because we are on that final lap. Half a second between them. Is Shadow realising this isn't his race? He's just not going to get this position. Or is he just sitting back, saving what he's got? One last lunge in that McLaren. As Hazard picks up a 3-second penalty, that's not going to mean too much. He's 15 seconds off the race lead and 7 seconds ahead of his teammate in third, who's now 8.3 seconds back. But let's have a quick look up at Crows. He comes across the line, takes the race win, first race of the season, and Crow will be on the top step, followed by Hazard and then Julian. But our eyes are still looking at this battle for 4th and 5th. One mistake from either of these two drivers, it could be all over. Brownie has an AI, that's not going to cause him any issues. Is Shadow going to go for a lunge? He went for it last time. He knows better this time after he took Brownie's rear away from him. And it's going to be Brownie from Shadow. Julian confirmed in third with Hazard in second. Brownie takes 4th. Shadow with a penalty in the end comes 5th. Hickster will be coming around the corner to take 6th place. And the AIs will be 9th and 10th. But there we go. And there we have Crow taking the top step of the podium. The Red Bull man, 1 win, 1 race, and he'll be happy with that. Difficult conditions with that safety car, and then the rain coming later on. Strategy became so important to get right. He made the right calls. Loads of others made the right calls, but he just was so much faster as well. And an easy win then for Crow. And we'll just have a quick final rundown of those finishing positions. So Crow taking the race win. He did have a 3-second penalty, but he was comfortably ahead of Hazard in the end. 16 seconds clear. Julian coming home third after his disconnection, so a great result from him. Potentially could have had second if it wasn't for those issues, but swings and roundabouts. Hazard made a perfect call earlier on, getting the safety car on very old tyres. Came out at the right time for him. Brownie P4, Shadow 5th, followed by Hickster, Simon, Igor, Kitnovel, Cisco, DNFers then, Borderline, Hypers, Lemon and Huskari. And I'm just going to have a quick flick through here. It's not important for this lot. For you guys watching, it's just in case it's needed. And just in case people need to launch any appeals. What the wet race becomes really hard to get perfect lines quickly. There we go, all through. So thanks for everyone who came to watch. That's been the Supreme Racing League. I've been Amkasa. Thanks for all being here. I'm away next week, so I won't be streaming, but if you want to keep on top of it, keep an eye on SRL's Twitter. They will be announcing who'll be casting next week. So again, thanks for everyone who's been here. Yeah, it's been a fun race. Could have been closer, but still enjoyable. Thanks and goodbye.